Hi everyone, I was going to say good morning, it's actually 1:15, so it's afternoon, isn't it? This is my second attempt at doing a little video for you. As I've said in previous times, I do this on my phone and you're on like a selfie stick that does a tripod-y thing, and you're on top of my ironing board today, and I'm here merrily doing this to you just now, and you fell over and you hit the deck quite spectacularly, so I'm redoing this one altogether. So excuse the fact that I'm sort of probably having a bit of a giggle going on here. So anyway, hello, in Cornwall on a very wet and miserable day. Hopefully it's a bit nicer where you are, although I think you've probably got snow and we haven't. But then snow's fabulous to look at. It's great if you're young and want to play in it, but for the rest of it, I don't think it's a lot. It's not all it's cracked up to be, really, is it? So it's probably horrible where you are as well then. But there we are. I went off to the post office first thing, and it's just miserable out there. Miserable. So wet, 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 wet. Never mind. Could all be worse, couldn't it? Yeah, so here we have Witter Quilt 7 that I called Loved Somewhere because it was all weird and wonderful fabrics just flung together to see what would happen. Well, this is what's happened. Let me move that out there. Yeah, so it's actually quite full on, I feel. At a distance, it doesn't look too bad now. When I started to put these all together, I had this idea. I've been on about it, haven't I? Yeah, I know what I'm going to do. I was going to turn it into like a Bargello, because I thought actually you've got 9 and that could work quite well. When it came to it, I decided actually I didn't have enough in there. And trying to distinguish between all of the blocks was really quite difficult. So what I've done, I've put infills. Yeah, so we've got a block and a bit and a block and a bit and a block and a bit and a block and a, yeah, all the way down. So these I've cut at 5.5 inches by 3, so you're finishing up with it 2.5 wide there, so half of the block, which actually seems to work quite well. Hindsight says I might have made that a little bit thinner, because actually now it's all together I'm very long and thin. So what I'm gonna do, I've decided, is I'm gonna add a block each side. Yeah, so I'm going to cut 2 blocks of the 9 weird and wonderful fabrics, just as 5.5 inch squares, and I'm going to add them with infills. I'm going to carry the infills on down each side, which should give me that little bit more width that I'm looking for. That sounded good, didn't it? Sorry, brain's gone. Yeah, now I'm wiping all my makeup. Oh god, I'm hopeless at this. So I'm going to make it a little bit wider, which will put it more in usable terms, all right? And then I'm going to put a border on it, and I think the border is going to be black, because I actually quite like the fact that that's making it quite striking. So how have I actually done this? So I got my 9 different squares, types of square, and I piled up my 9 different squares, yeah, in a nice long run. And then I worked out the colours, okay? So in each pile, on the top would have been my camels, underneath would have been, what did we have then? So let's start here. So this side started off as the blue pansy. So I had all the blue pansies on the top. Then I had all the green frogs. And then I had all the orangey, whatever, Hawaiian thingies. And then I had the daisies. And then I had the brown, horrible, spotty thing. I still don't love that a lot, but there we go. Then we had this one, and then we had camels, and then we had the black, and then we had the check. So literally 9 piles with them done in that order within them. All right, so all the 1, all the 2, all the 3, all the 4, but within that the colours were the same order. Then I put in these infills. So I had runs everywhere here. So you had like a square and a fill and a square and a fill and a square and a fill, so that I had them all in order, all cut, all ready to go. So I started and did the blue one, run that whole length, okay? And then when I got to the second length, which was the green, I just then started picking up from the next square, so that in effect it shoveled it to the bottom by 1, so that it's moved everything all the way up. Okay, so you can see it clearly by looking at the infills. That really does give you your difference. It's made a white swathe down the middle, I at one point I really hated it. This morning I finished putting on the last strip that I've got, and I laid it out on the floor here, and I suddenly thought, do you know what, I actually quite like it now it's done. But I went through that phase of, oh gosh, what have you done this time? It really isn't very lovely. And you've got other people out there in the world doing this with you and you don't like it. But actually I like it now, so it's okay. So hopefully yours will all look lovely. But I am going to put those extra 2 sides on, and then I'm going to put a border on it, a black border. So that's actually come up quite big now. Originally it was going to be quite small, 45 by 45, with a border if you wanted, but obviously the infills have changed that somewhat, but I think it has given it definition. What it did do, interestingly, when I was putting it all together, if anything was a little bit dodgy size-wise within my squares, knowing that these were cut accurately at 3 by 5.5, I was able to pin things, the strips, together using those as an absolute. So anything that was a bit wibbly wobbly the other way, so long as I managed to pin everything straight within those fills, the whole thing came together fabulously. So bear that in mind when you're putting things together. Make sure your fills are the right size as you're putting your strip together. So you've got a square and a fill. Make sure you put your square to the centre of the fill. So if there's anything a little bit not quite right, it's even each side, to the next, to the next. So start that off as you go on, and that will bring the whole thing back square. It's worked really well. I was very impressed with doing that, actually. It made my life a lot easier than trying to put them all together. And we like easy, gives it somewhat bigger and louder. What I think also might have looked nice would have been is actually if I'd used all the same colour infill. So if I'd have done that whole thing in black, they would have all popped. But then that would have said, well, actually make these a bit thinner and put black all round so that they're all floating. So everyone's framed and they're all floating with it. That would look fabulous, I think. That would really pop the colours. But this is what I've done. So, you know, that's what I've got, which is a sort of a semi-bargello looking thing, because I was going to go down and up, but I decided just to keep going in one direction. So that what's happened is what's gone up there has then started down here and carried on again. All right. So that's my Witter Quilt top 7. Not quite finished. I will finish it, and the next Witter I'll have that up there ready to show you. All right. But what I do want to say to you in between then and now, or now and then even, can you let me know what you want to do next? Because we're still stuck here. We're going to be stuck a while longer, I feel. So Witter Quilt 8, we need ideas. Don't want anything too complicated, I have to say. I quite fancy doing some more applique because I really enjoyed that Christmas one. So we need a few topics of what to do. But I'll be honest, I don't want to do things like cats or dogs or whatever like that. So let's have something a bit different. There are so many quilts out there and so many designs. Let's see, can we think of something that's a little bit different for a change? Having said that, my fallback always is flowers because I love flowers. But do you know what? Let's see what's out there. So that would be an applique. But having said that, we could go backwards and do some traditional blocks. Maybe you want to shout some traditional blocks that you love, and I'll start and put them together with you. How's that? Is that a plan? Actually, that could work quite nicely. Some traditionals if you're not sure how to do different ones. And we'll look and see what we could do. And again, nothing too complicated for anybody, because I want this doable for everybody. Yeah. And as much as I love to talk everybody through it, my time is getting less and less and less, because I don't know if you noticed on my Facebook page, I had this idea, me and my bright ideas, a couple of weeks ago, to do what I called a Sunday special. Yeah, and I did it this week, Sunday special, which means I was out here at 8 o'clock in the morning and finished at 8 o'clock in the evening, which is lovely, and your support is so appreciated. But I think I might have created a beast. Having said that, I have something in plan for this Sunday, which might suit anybody. It's going to be good. But there we go. That's Sunday special, and I only do them on a Sunday. Starts in the morning, finishes either when the stock's all gone or at the end of the day on the Sunday, and that's it. I'm not taking any orders before or after it. That's your lot. So you've got to look out on a Sunday on my Facebook page, all right? It will be over on my shop as well, but you'd have to look through the shop to find out what department it's in and what's going on. I have to keep things as simple for me to cope with. My technical assistant isn't always available to me on a Sunday, so you've just got me, which is quite interesting at times, although I am starting to conquer quite a few things. So there we are. So that's it. Well, what else is there to show? It's that Sunday specials. Witter Quilt, what are we going to do next? I'll put up the instructions for that one over in Witter Quilt or group, Patchwork Witterings on Facebook. So if anybody's watching, you'll find patterns and designs and everything in the albums in there, plus in my posts. So if you're looking for a pattern and you can't find it, have a look in the albums, in the photos, in the albums. Hopefully we've linked them all that you can find them quite logically now, which is quite good. What else do we say? Tom, he's fast asleep. You can just see the black lump in front there probably. It's because it's miserable out there. He's here asleep. Fast kid. He was snoring just now. He's not snoring now, but he's very gorgeous. He has his own Facebook page now. I don't know if I've told you this. He's called Black Cat Tom. So if you look on Facebook, it's associated to my page as well, but you'll find it. Black Cat Tom, and there's all sorts of photos of him being stupid in here and doing silly things, and then just plain gorgeousness. Yeah, so there's a little video of him yesterday. He was in such a gorgeous mood yesterday. So yeah, go and have a little look at Black Cat Tom. It's all good fun. see, it's all just exciting stuff, and I've been planning stuff for later in the year for everybody, and sorting out retreats and things. We're having to move a few of them to next year, but that's okay. We'll just be a year late. There's nothing like being a bit late, turning up to something, is there? But we're still going to have a bit of fun, so we're delaying a lot of things, and classes have all been put back, because who knows when we'll all be able to actually fully get out again, but it's coming. We can see it's coming with a bit of luck. That'll be lovely, won't it? Oh, it's all so... And I've got 4 quilt tops. No, I'm lying. 4 quilts that have come back from long arming from Sarah up at Ambleside Quilting, and I've now got to do all of the bindings. But it's good. It's good. I'll show you a couple of them when they're finished properly. I'll show you a quick peek at them. One's actually for me, which is unheard of. I've actually made myself a quilt. It's very simple, but it's very yellow. It's very shiny. It's a shiny quilt. We like that. And there's a memory quilt, so I'll show you that. That was made for somebody. Well, for several people from one person, if that makes sense. And that's been a real effort. Lots of things in there. Big learning curve for me as well, to be totally honest. All sorts of different fabrics and things being used, so that'll be quite a good one. I might do a Witter just for that. That would be good. I'll have to ask where at the destination do they mind if I use it for a Witter. That would be really cool if they don't mind, and then I can explain to everybody what I've done and why I've done it, because there's lots of weirdness involved. God, that'd be good. Although it's a simple design, the actual achieving. Oh, there we are. We've got a topic for a Witter. I quite like that idea. Yeah, I'll have a little word with peoples that be. That's good, isn't it? All right, so what else is new? Not a lot, probably. New stock coming in all the time. Do have a look at my shop on abbyann.com. Abbyann Patchwork, anything like that, you'll find me. You'll follow it through. If you're watching me, obviously, would you mind liking my channel here on YouTube? That would be good. That all sort of feeds back into things for a little business, and to be honest, I am a little business. I am still here. You're not going to get rid of me that easily, but it's taken a bit of effort, as you're finding. I haven't got enough free time, but it's all good. We're here. So I'm going to go back to my normal 3 things, because I think I've shouted enough at you today. And I do feel like I'm shouting because you're at a distance, and I do apologise if I'm shouting. It's excitement as much as anything else, because it's just all gorgeousness going on. And I like fabric. There we go. And I'm playing. And now I'm just wittering, and which is the idea. Yeah, that's why they called that anyway. So 3 things. Bit of exercise if it's not too horrible. Now, if you are out and about and you're going to go for a bit of exercise and you're tobogganing or skiing or any of those things, please be careful. Yeah, make sure you've got a first aider to hand somewhere. Be careful. If not, and you're indoors, up and down the stairs 10 times. if you've got no stairs, round and round the settee. That'll be good. So sorry, that's the delivery driver just delivering. That's nice, isn't it? Like, I have no idea what it is. I'll look in a minute. He's dropped it out there and taken a photo of it. Just what they do now. Just waved at me. That was nice. You smiley? We like smiley people. Yeah. So anyway, exercise, tidying. I'm not doing it. That's the end of it. And then what's the other one? Friends, Romans Countrymen. We've not had that for a while. Lend me your ears. Yeah. Is everybody all right? All your little friends out there, or have you spoken to them recently? Do you need to talk to them? Do you need to have a little bit of a Zoom meeting? We're quite getting into the Zoom meetings recently. I had one with the Quilters Guild on Saturday. That was a nice coffee morning with the Quilters Guild. That was lovely. Saw a load of faces I've not seen in ages. Had one with Southwest Quilters Committee the other week. And my Wednesday evening ladies, we have one every Wednesday. So do you know, it's becoming more of a normal thing, and we're getting a little bit better at it. I know it's not the same thing as chatting to your mate there and there, but do you know what is good? So make sure all your mates are all right, please. Phone calls to anyone you've not heard of for a while, messages, whatever it takes, stay in touch. It is difficult. I have trouble keeping up with everyone, but do as I say, not as I do. I keep saying that, don't I? And I've got a burp going on here. I do apologise. That was coffee. Right, so that's it. Other than one thing to say, be lovely.